up everybody, Magpie Gaming here, bringing you your weekly news roundup of PUBG news. Now there's quite a few topics to go through this week. One of those is the fact that we're getting another update this week, only a week after we had the last update. It's not a massive one, as you can assume. Last week's update was the biggie, but this one just fixes a few little bugs that have arisen from that update, I believe. And a couple of news articles. The first one I'm going to start with is, imagine playing a round of Battlegrounds and winning by simply being AFK. Now, we all know that the AFK thing is a problem and it's currently being addressed by Bluehole, but there's a story that's been doing the rounds over the last 24 hours and the guy actually recorded it and put it on YouTube, so I'll put a link in the description below to this video. But he basically started a round and he had to go because his dinner was ready and he decided just to put his character in a bathtub. It just so happens that this bathtub was at the centre of the final ring and he won the round by just laying in a bathtub. Now that is absolutely insane, and what would the odds be? I'd put it at millions to one probably that you would pick the one bathtub that would be in the centre of the last circle. So yeah, and to be in that bathtub and it never be checked. Surely somebody went in and looked at it, but there you go. He won a round by simply doing that. So there's one tip for winning, just sit in a bathtub all day. The next story is that Battlegrounds is breaking records once more, and it doesn't surprise me with the rise of this game and the way it's going. As I've said in previous videos, it's a freight train and it ain't stopping. It's got no brakes right now. So the peak concurrent count record on Steam was set by Dota 2, and that was set at 1.29 million people in one go. It's now been shattered by PUBG, hitting 1.3 million concurrent players, and I can only see that going higher. I don't see that being the limit of it. I can only see it going higher. In fact, I'm really surprised that we've moved a couple of weeks on from them doing 10 million sales and they haven't announced that they've done 11 million sales. I can only assume that that story is going to be around the corner within the next few days, because this game isn't slowing down. It's just picking up momentum all the time. There was an interview with Brendan Green and he said that he's very surprised at the rise of the game. He expected it to do moderately well, because it's in a genre that's been around for a while, but it definitely needed a kick up the backside to get it going. It needed an injection of vitality, something fresh, and that's what they give the genre with PUBG. But him and his team were expecting the game to plateau way before now. And he said it's just not showing any signs of that right now. The sales are very healthy, they're rising every day. So yeah, breaking records, it's not going to be the last time it breaks a record. It will continue to set that bar higher, I think, with the concurrent count. And of course, it will keep doing the sales, and yeah, it's only going to be a matter of time before it hits 11 million. And it seems that with this fame has brought a lot of other people out, a lot of other devs out, and they're starting to add Battle Royale style gameplay into their games. Now I know that GTA is looking at doing one, or they have done one. I'm not too sure. I'm not up on GTA Online. I like the single player game, but the online just didn't interest me at all. So, but I think they're doing one, or they have done one. Now another game that I play called Fortnite, that has recently put out its version of Battle Royale. Now if you haven't played Fortnite, do a quick search on YouTube and you'll be able to find lots of videos with gameplay in. It's basically like a sandbox castle defense game. You join around with 3 other people, man resources on the map that you're on, and then you build a defense around a certain point on the map, and then you have to defend it against waves and waves of zombies basically. And they've decided to do their own Battle Royale where you parachute in, you have to build your defences up and defend against other players. I haven't played that mode yet, I haven't been on that game for a couple of weeks now, but of course we're going to see a lot more cashing in on this. I think it's a genre that's still up and coming, although it could quickly get saturated with a lot of people, a lot of devs making copycat games. As I say, I haven't played that one yet. I might check it out over the weekend and just see what it's all about, see if it's actually any good. But one thing to note was that over the weekend, PS4 players that were playing this mode were accidentally, according to Epic Games, pitted against Xbox players. And they're saying that this was implemented by mistake. As we all know, Sony doesn't allow cross-platform play between the Xbox and the PS4, but it did happen over the weekend, and apparently it was an overwhelming success, even though Epic Games said they did it by accident, and that's now been revoked, so you can't do cross-platform play. But it is there, and it worked, so it's just Sony holding all of that back at the moment. But talking about cross-platform play, Brendan Green has done an interview and he said it's definitely something that they're still looking at with Battlegrounds. And of course, the exclusivity with the Xbox and the PC means that there's that friendliness there. Microsoft are very willing to work with PC, of course. But it does bring into question exactly how this will work and how you will pit PC players against console players and vice versa. Now, I don't want to stoke a whole PC and Xbox vs each other. I think, anybody knows that keyboard and mouse is king. It's fast, it's accurate, it's a lot quicker than thumbsticks, it just is. But of course, one way around that on the consoles is that you add aim assist into games, which helps you aim. Now, that's something that Brendan Green says he'd like to look at doing with the Xbox version of Battlegrounds. Now, of course, doing the precision aims that you have to do within this game, especially when you're sniping somebody that's 500, 600, 700 meters away, it's going to be very hard with a thumbstick. So I can see them adding some kind of aim assist into the game to help you guys out with that, and I've got no issues with that. I think that's fine on the console. But if you bring in cross-platform play, exactly how is that going to work? A lot of PC players wouldn't want to play players that are using aim assist because they'd see that as an unfair advantage. So they've said that they will probably look at it being, if you are on the PC and you want to do cross-platform play with Xbox players, you will be locked into using just a controller so that it evens the playing field. Or if you have a mouse and keyboard attachment for the Xbox, which there are some official ones coming out very soon, then you will have to use those against somebody on the PC with a mouse and keyboard. And I think that's fair. I think obviously you're going to have to select the servers at the side or the game mode, and it will match you up with other people using the same peripherals. And I think that's probably the best way to do this. You could maybe have a hardcore mode for those on the Xbox that want to use controller and use it without aim assist, and of course those that want to use the Xbox controller and play against PC players with no aim assist. There's going to be somebody out there that will be able to do it very well, but the vast majority of people aren't going to be able to play against PC players with just a controller and no aim assist. So it's going to be interesting to see how they get around this problem. It's going to be something that they are going to push though. Cross-platform play is nothing new, but it's never been done in a way that's become popular or has become a mainstay of the certain game that's done it. So maybe PUBG with its popularity is the game to break that mold. We'll just have to wait and see. Also, in that interview where they was talking about using the aim assist, Brendan Green said that with the partnership with Microsoft, it opens up a lot of possibilities for them. One of those is that they can share resources from other studios within Microsoft, and they said that they'd been talking to the devs at Rare, which is the studio behind the up-and-coming game Sea of Thieves. If you don't really know what Sea of Thieves is, do a quick search for it. They have their own YouTube channel. They do a weekly insider update for the game. It is looking amazing. It looks like a really fun game, and basically they'd had this talk with them and they'd said, basically the water in your game is shit, which we all know the water effects and the mechanics of it within Battlegrounds need a lot of work. But to be fair, using the water doesn't come into the matches that much unless you have to cross to go to the island or to the mainland, or if you're in the swamp part of the map. But they've said that now that they're part of, they've got this Microsoft partnership, they will be able to call on studios like that to help them with their water mechanics. So all being well, sometime in the future we will get a lot better looking water and water mechanics. So that is something to look forward to, because the water is a little bit of a letdown in the game. But like I say, it doesn't feature too much, so it's probably just been left. They've just made it moderately okay for now, so that'll be something that'll get worked on, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that. So let's take a look at the patch notes for this week. This is week 26 patch notes. Obviously we're not doing weekly updates, but if we was, then we'd be at week 26 right now. So for UI and UX, they have added the following feature to the map help section on the world map, marking your character's current position, default key set to insert. For others, you may no longer modify INI files to set a keybind for multiple actions on the same key. Bug fixes: they've fixed a bug that enabled angled foregrip to attach to Tommy gun, fixed a graphic bug regarding building locations, fixed an animation bug that appeared when a character used healing or boosting items in the driver's seat, fixed a bug that did not cancel a player's reload if the character was knocked out during the reload, fixed a bug where an uncooked grenade could explode if a character was knocked out while holding it, fixed a graphics bug that would cause a black box texture to appear while scoped when anti-aliasing was set to low or very low in the settings. And that is it for update for this week. As I say, only a small one. We had a big update last week, so this update's obviously just tweaking a few things from that update, I think. But there are a few things that people are complaining about in the comment section on these, namely that the default servers keep moving to other regions. This is something that I've noticed on Man. Now and again it will default to North American servers or Asian servers. Another one that is, well, it's always been there, I don't think it's a bug, but it is very annoying, is that if you join a first-person server, sometimes when I quit out of a lobby, if I don't want to do a rain map or something like that, it will default back to third-person, which is really annoying. But yeah, some bugs and some tweaks that they could implement that need doing. That's one of the ones that I want sorting out because it is annoying. I do like the first-person perspective, and it's annoying when you get kicked back to third-person. So hopefully there'll be some fixes for that coming soon. As I say, if you do have an issue with the game, the best thing to do is to go to their forums and raise that on their forums. Of course, they're looking at the feedback all of the time because the only way they're going to make this game a lot better is with the community feedback. And again, that's what early access is all about, gaining feedback, gaining data from the game, and making it an overall better experience for everybody. And that's something that they're going to be really pushing for right now because they want to get it as good as possible for the Xbox launch. So yeah, go there and leave your feedback, and if not, just have a read through and see what other problems people are having. Chances are that the problems that you're having with the game, somebody else will be having them somewhere as well. And that is pretty much it for PUBG news this week. As always, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.